Good morning, everybody. This is Guillermo with Live Trading with Guillermo. I've had quite a few questions come through my channel. People are reaching out on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and unfortunately, I can't respond to everybody. People have requested phone calls and Zoom calls, and I'm not going to do that. That's just not what I do. I'm too busy, and really, I don't know any other channel where you could do that. You could reach out and say, hey, let's get on a call. This is just what I do for my training. I'm doing it to share information for education purposes only. So that's really what my channel is all about. So if you see something on the screen, do your own due diligence and learn about it for yourself. Okay. But I do appreciate that you're watching. So that really means a lot to me. So I do want to answer some of those questions through this video. So I'm hoping this is helpful. And I hope it helps your journey if you're looking into becoming a trader. So I'm going to advance my presentation. Okay, so I am a funded trader. I have 2 funded accounts through Apex Trader Funding. I have a video on my channel about Apex Trading. You can feel free to check out that video. I talk about how they work, account sizes, how much they cost. There's still a special going on there, 50% off. There's a code there on that video that's still good. So you can use that as a discount if this is something you want to do. That said, on the screen, as you can see, I have 2 funded accounts at $50,000 each. I'm actually working on my 3rd one, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But I'm about 2,000 into my 3,000 profit target, so I'll hit that this week. But I'll talk that a little bit more about that in a minute. One thing I want to mention: I consider myself a beginner. Okay, I am not a professional in any way. What I tell you should not be considered professional advice or anything like that. This is just my way of trading, information only. Okay, guys, that's it. So I just wanted to kind of be clear about that. So some of the questions I've had is, how long have you been trading? Well, seriously trading has been really only the last 3 months. And not because I haven't been trying. I've been trying since last year, April of last year. How I got started was I joined a group, a paid group, where I was promised training and mentoring and software that would do automation. Cost me a lot of money. I spent $2,500 for that. Yeah, and with investment here, investment there, and it did not pay off. It went belly up. So needless to say, their software didn't work. I tried funded accounts with that software. It never worked. Never worked. So, but one thing I did learn from that, though, is that there is a oh, by the way, I normally don't have a beard. I've just been trying to grow it out. I've never grown one out before, so I'm going to see how this looks. It kind of makes me look older than I really am, so I may not keep it. But anyway, I digress. I kept trying that software, didn't work. But I did learn that there are accounts, companies that will fund you if you're a successful trader. If you can prove yourself to be profitable, that you can follow rules, that you stay within your risk tolerances, you can get funded. And that's what I began to pursue. So being that I did not have my own capital, that was the logical way for me to go. I had money for software, but I did not have money for capital to trade. That's where this 50,000 come in, and actually I have 100,000 now when you add them together, and hopefully 150 here pretty soon. But still working on it. And like I said, I'll talk about that in a minute. What platforms have I used? I have used MetaTrader 4 on the Forex side of things. I have used Nadex for binary trades. Kind of dabbled in that a little bit. I have, of course, NinjaTrader 8, which is the platform that I use exclusively on my YouTube channel. So it's NinjaTrader 8. That platform is pretty robust. So you can put all kinds of indicators that you can go out and buy in the marketplace. I'm not going to recommend any because I don't really need them. But you could go out and do that. There's companies that sell automation that will work with NinjaTrader 8. And I'm using one of those for my trading, and I'll talk about that in a minute. As I go into the next question, what have you used other trading bots? The answer is yes. So I have used trading bots on MetaTrader 4. Didn't work. I have used bots on NinjaTrader. Didn't work. I have used one bot that actually kind of worked, but it would require me to be in front of the screen pretty much during the whole trading day, and I can't do that. If I was if that was my full-time job to just trade, I think that probably would have worked fine, But I just don't have that. I have a full-time job, and I like to do my trades first thing in the morning. So before my work starts, I want to be done, and that's the way I approach it. Now, if you're looking to be a trader and you want to trade all day, please, go right on ahead. That's just not the way it works for me, but I know other people that do that. So I have used other bots. And have I always had success? Nope, not at all. So what I'm hoping that I share with you is so you don't have to go through what I had to do. All this trial and error, time, money, disappointment. I'm trying to kind of save you some of that. Now, can I save all of that for you? Of course not. Of course not. I can't do that. Nobody can, because you still got to do it yourself, right? Automation only takes you so far. You still have to put in the time to learn and learn how automation works and make sure you use it appropriately. Use the training videos that come with whatever software you use. Use simulation so you know exactly what you're doing. You got to put in the time before you can be successful, and it's going to take some time. But there's definitely a way to shorten that learning curve if you have the right tools. So how long did it take me to get funded? So is a great question. So I got funded. So as an individual, first I had a funded account through Apex Trader. This was back in, I think it was November, maybe October. I can't remember. Then as I learned, I decided that I wanted to get an LLC. So the screenshot that you see is Sendable Enterprises. That's my LLC. So I created my corporation, and then when I went back to Apex and I asked, they said, nope, you have to do the evaluation all over again, but this time you have to use it under your corporate name. So I couldn't just transfer it. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. So got on it again, started working on it, and I was doing pretty good. I was moving along. And then I reached out to the folks at TruTrade. I say, hey, I have a good bot. It's a decent bot. It was a single instrument bot at the time. And I said, what do you have? And they said, well, you can upgrade to the PowerRipper Pro. And I said, well, what does it do? And I said, they get, I spoke to Danny over there at TruTrade. You can go to their website, TruTrade.io, and he told me how it works. It's definitely more robust. It can do multiple instruments and all kinds of things that I can do that my single Ripper couldn't do. But it was still a good piece of software. I mean, it did get me funded. But I wanted something to take me to that next level, which is what the PowerRipper Pro does for me. So I posted videos on this. The two accounts that you saw in the screenshot, those were actually funded in a single attempt each. So one account I did in one day. I met my profit target in one day, and then the other one took me like a couple days. But because the minimum trading days is 10, I still had to trade for 10 days. Even though I had already met the profit target, I still had to trade for 10. So technically it took me 10 days to get them each, but realistically I was already done. I just had to kind of, follow the rule, trade for 10 days and get funded. So I was working on a third account. I was doing really good. I had met, my daily profit target, and I got greedy. I thought I could do better, and then the market turned. And it wasn't that the software couldn't recover. It wasn't that at all. It's the account that I have. See, these funded trader accounts have very specific rules, right? So as you make money on those accounts, you have it's called a trailing drawdown, okay? And it moves up with you. So as you increase the balance on your account for being successful, well, that trailing drawdown will follow you up. So that means if you take one big loss going the other way, even though you're well above the minimum, you can actually lose the evaluation because of the trailing drawdown. So it's not the software itself that, it's not like I couldn't have. If I had a different type of account, it would have recovered and I would have been just fine. But because of the rules of the account, prohibited me from doing that. So that's one thing you have to think about is if you go through a funded trader program, you have to look at the rules to say, hey, is there a minimum daily drawdown? There's a complete drawdown, but there's daily risk parameters. So if you exceed those tolerances, sometimes there's a limit of number of contracts you can trade. Sometimes there's if you trade during the news. So if the Fed announces a rate hike that day and you traded during that news release, you can get your account shut down. So there's different rules. So the software doesn't know about those rules. You should, right? And some of those rules, it bit me, So needless to say, I had to start over. And like I said, I'm about 2,000 into my 3,000 profit target. And I should be able to hit that next, probably Monday, not Monday. Yeah, Monday is a trading day, President's Day. So I should be able to hit Monday, Tuesday, and be done. Maybe into Wednesday if I need to, but I'll be done. So people have been asking me, you're using TruTrade. Why them? Okay, legitimate question. One thing I want to mention, I am not a salesperson for TruTrade. I don't work for them. This is my channel. I trade. I show you how I do it. And the reason I use them is because it works. I mean, straight up, it works. Could I have gotten 2 funded accounts if it didn't work? Of course not, right? It makes sense, right? The only way I can get a funded account is if I can prove to someone that I can trade, be profitable, and I can follow the rules, and therefore they'll give me access to 50,000 in trading capital. So I just want to kind of let that sink in. If you have $50,000 and you want somebody to trade it for you, would you do it for just anybody? You wouldn't, right? You would want somebody to say, hey, if you're going to trade this for me, you better know what you're doing. And you better be profitable because I'm not going to put my money at risk. And that's what these companies do. They front the capital, they let you trade it, and then there's a profit split because of that, right? Obviously, you're using their capital, so they want a return on their investment. So that's the reason I have used TruTrade. So I'm a beginner. What do you recommend? Well, first of all, what you should learn is find YouTube has a great resource. You can definitely look at my channel, learn about some of the funded trading accounts, how to do that. You can do some research yourself. You can do research on a good broker, those sort of things, right? You can look for different softwares that are out there, look at reviews, look at the Google reviews, go to websites, call companies directly, and get a real person on the phone. And trust me, you're going to find that a lot of companies don't. Okay. When I called TruTrade, I talked to Danny first day. And I've been, ever since I've been upgrading my automation, he's been there. Okay. So as a beginner, from the software that I use, the PowerRipper Pro, as you saw, has 3 modes, right? So I had the full automatic. That one you could literally set and forget. Okay, you have to make sure you set it up correctly. Of course, you gotta have the right parameters, and you gotta have the right number of contracts and the right account size and all of that. But it can do that. Okay, if you want to do something a little more discretionary, there's a discretionary auto mode where the software basically has all this trend and volatility, analytics, and all kinds of stuff that I don't even know. I mean, I don't know, because they're not going to tell you. Why would they tell you their secret, right? They're not going to tell you. They tell you what it does, but they're not going to give you the secret recipe, right? So I don't know what it does in the background. You would probably need to be like a statistician or something in a supercomputer or something to figure some of these out, because the automation, if you've seen on my videos, the automation will enter so quickly that it would be humanly impossible to do. You could not place a trade, put your multiple stops, profit targets, and all kinds of stuff. There's no way you could do that, right? I mean, you could, but you would have so much slippage that you probably wouldn't even enter the trade if you're lucky. And if you did enter the trade, you probably would have missed it. And it might have even reversed on you by the time you hit the button, right? Because it's that quick. So you wouldn't want to do that manually. So you could, I mean, as a beginner, you could use PowerRipper Pro and pick maybe discretionary and kind of learn it as you go. It should become a little bit more advanced if you want it to be more hands-on. There's a manual mode for that. So you can definitely be more of that, because there's people that like to trade manually. You know, they'll use their own indicators, but traders that also want advanced technology behind their trades can definitely benefit from this, because the PowerRipper Pro will set you up for the right time to enter the trade. As you have seen my videos where I've entered at different times, waiting for the right moment. And I've been pretty successful doing that. So some people can do that. And then you've seen the last few videos where I just do auto mode, and once I hit profit target, I'm out. So that's the latest way I've been trading. It's just been auto mode. Now I do it a little bit different than what I'm supposed to be technically. It's like auto / kind of manual. So it's definitely different than it was intended to be. But it doesn't matter. The great thing about the software is that it's so flexible. You can do it any way you want to. You can use it any way you want to use it. And I keep looking this way because this is where my microphone's at. So I apologize that I'm kind of looking away and not looking at the camera. But it's just a habit. Normally I don't do a share screen. But I wanted you to see me because I am a real person. I am not. This is not paid advertisement. I'm actually in my home office here. This is where I normally work. I'm a banker by trade. Been doing that for a long time, but this has been a different way for me to kind of explore different opportunities to make some extra income. So that's kind of where I'm at. What if you're an advanced trader? Can you use the PowerRipper Pro? Of course you can. You could be a beginner, intermediate, all the way to an advanced trader. You could definitely do this. Now, if you're a trader with a $200,000 account to trade, I would recommend that you go the next level up. That one's called, I believe it's called the PowerRipper Pro, I believe. Don't quote me on that. You can go to their website, TruTrade.io. I don't have that software. I haven't used it, but I know that it can do. It can basically run a portfolio for you. So you can run multiple instruments. You can hedge one against another. So if your NQ is very volatile, so you could hedge that with like an ES, which tends to move a little slower, or the RTY. You could have maybe some smaller contracts in those. So if you took a slight loss on NQ, for example, you would have positive returns on the others, and it would balance out and maybe even get ahead. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. I don't have it, and that is my next goal. PowerRipper Pro is gonna be my next purchase, and that's the question I've been asked. What would you get next? PowerRipper Pro. That's hands on. That's like the mothership of automation. I'm getting that, and I'm gonna work for it. It's it's definitely an investment. It's an investment into my future, but that's something I'm gonna work towards to this year, 2022. Before 2022 is over, I'm gonna have PowerRipper Pro, guaranteed. I'm gonna do it. Just like I worked up to AutoRipper, PowerRipper is gonna be in my future, and I already know it. So let me think about what else. Let me go back to the funded trading portion. People could ask me, well, how long did it take you, right? Like, I guess, you see my videos and people still don't believe it. You see the screenshots of my funded accounts. People still don't believe it. Like, does it really work? But yeah, like I said, no one's going to give me 50,000 in capital, 100,000 at the current moment, and hopefully 150 here pretty soon. But no one's going to do that if you're not a successful trader. I mean, that's just not going to happen. That's not real life. That wouldn't happen. That's what these companies do. Why would they give you that, right? So it definitely works. Will you get funded right away on your first week? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, it's going to take you some practice. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to write the right instrument that works for you and your style. If you want to trade at night, then you're probably going to want to do automation, because you're not going to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing trades, right? Or midnight. So you want to do auto mode, and you want to have the right settings so you can take your profit. You can set up the right risk parameters and all kinds of things. So you could do that then. If you're during work hours and you have a job and you can't trade, yeah, you could do that with the right settings. So would you do it on the first try? Probably not. Realistically, probably not. But can you do it? Of course you can. I've done it. And like I said, I'm almost done with the third account. And, well, why have 3 accounts? Well, I'm kind of spreading my risk. So my goal is to trade different instruments on each one. So I'll probably do NQ on one, the ES on the other, and then maybe an RTY on one. And I'll try other instruments. Maybe I'll try gold. Might do that. So I'm definitely going to try different things. So in the end, I'm going to have different accounts that are building up at different rates, spreading my risk over multiple instruments. So the accounts are going to grow, but they're going to grow at different pace, and that's okay. I want that. That's my strategy. Could you do it with one account? Of course. You could trade one account and be done and do it that way. Many people do that, but that's the way I choose to do it. Okay. So what works for me may or may not work for you. So with that, again, I want to thank you all for watching my YouTube channel. I can't answer questions about the AutoRipper beyond what you see on the videos. Okay. I can't tell you how much it costs, because that's not my business, right? Do they have good customer service? Yes. Are the people friendly? Yes, they are. Do they have good information on their site? Yes. If you haven't, I've actually did a testimonial for them, a video testimonial, so you can learn about my story and you can see that. But the ultimate decision is yours. I'm not going to make that decision for you. I do not want to make that decision for you. I'm not telling you to go get it. I'm not asking you to do any of those things. What I'm doing is saying, hey, this is my journey. It took me a long time to get where I'm at today. A lot of trial and error. I didn't give up. And I finally found something that works for me. And your journey may take you a different path, but I'm trying to show you a path that works for me. And if this is something you want to do, then definitely get on the website, TruTrade.io, put in your info, and then check it out for yourself, and then go from there. Right? If it's not for you, it's not for you. That's okay. But don't think that I'm being rude. I hope you don't think that, because I'm not reaching out to you individually, because I really don't have the time. I really don't really want to do that. That's not what I feel I need to do. I don't want to get on the phone with people and go through these things. That's not what I do. So this is the reason I decided to put this Q&A video together, just so you can kind of see a little bit about my background. You know, how did this come together, and things like that. So anyway, that's pretty much it for me today. I just want to thank you for listening, watching my channel. I'll be on the lookout for any further questions that come through, and I apologize if you don't get a personalized response from me, but I will take them into account and maybe do a follow-up video to answer some questions. Okay, so with that, have a great weekend, and maybe I'll trade on Monday. I know the market's open till 1 Eastern, so I may jump in on Monday morning and see how it goes. It is a holiday, so it probably will be really slow. So I may just take a peek and see if I can jump in there, give myself a nice little trade. So we'll see. But other than that, I will see you either Monday or Tuesday. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.